Good afternoon, everyone. I am Carrie Bay Little. I am we'll call me the online instructor today. The goal of today's webinar is to really focus on our PMN designations. We have some exciting new marketing opportunities, a new badge that you will be able to share on all social media, but the goal for today is to show you how to leverage your designee badge on LinkedIn. So I'm going to jump over to LinkedIn. Hopefully you're familiar with LinkedIn. Many of us, we use LinkedIn. We use it more for a professional platform, and we may not be sharing on it as much as we could. There are some huge benefits to LinkedIn because once you do start to share your certifications and designations in this arena, you're looked at as a professional, and other professionals will seek you out. So when you log into LinkedIn, and I'll tell you, LinkedIn they had a major change. Over to your right, so this is actually my news feed. Over to the right where you have me. Under the me section, when you select the drop-down menu, you have the ability to manage your profile. And another tip, you can also build your own business pages. So this was a great new way to do marketing. We're going to work with our profile so we can add our certifications. So it's just like building a resume. So when we started, after we graduated high school, after we graduated college, we actually built a paper resume. LinkedIn is our online professional resume. So I am now in my profile view. In order to add certifications, there's a few ways you can add them. Now, before I actually add the badge or my PMN designation certification, I'll show you where it's currently located, and then I'll add it, and I'll show you two places where you can add it. Over to your right, under where it says Add New Profile section, when you select the drop-down menu, this is where you can update your LinkedIn resume. You have work experience, education, volunteer experience, and by the way, because you're a member of the council, you might want to add your volunteer experience. Very important when you are looking to get an association position, or maybe you're looking for leadership beyond the council. Women's Council has opened many doors for me where it's given me the ability to now be a board member just because I'm updating my resume. You have skills and you have accomplishments. Under accomplishments is actually where we're going to add the certification. So before we click certifications, add certifications here, I'll show you where it's located. In the middle of the screen, you can do the same thing. So you can either use the drop-down menu to the right, or you can scroll through your profile. So there's my experience. Then we have education. After education, you have volunteer experience. You have your featured skills and endorsements, recommendations, and then after recommendations, you will see your accomplishments. Under accomplishments, you have certifications. So the same idea. You either can click quickly, top right-hand corner, or you can scroll down to the bottom. If I click See More Certifications, you actually see the Performance Management Network badge because I've already added it. Now, it really depends on how extravagant you make your LinkedIn resume. I'll give you some tips on how you can use it after you share it. So the first thing you would do when you're ready to add your certifications, you can either scroll down to the bottom and click this pencil to add the certification, or in the top right-hand corner, click the drop-down menu. Under accomplishments, click the plus sign for certifications. Once you click certifications, you can put in your certification name. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to go back to the badge, and I would call this the Performance Management Certification. So I cheated. Watch for this. This will be coming in your email soon. Then authority would be Women's Council. You might have to search for it. Here it is, Women's Council of Realtors. So if you're taking notes, make sure it's this Women's Council. Then you don't have a license number, so don't worry about that. You would put in the date you received your certification, and there are some certifications out there that end. This one wouldn't end unless you stop paying for it in your fees every year. So make sure you always add that to your fees, and then its certification does not expire. Then when you receive your email with the certification URL, you would just paste it. So I actually copied it. Once I paste it, then I have the ability to either, yes, update my network, no, don't update the network. And I actually haven't updated my network because I added this designation just to learn how to just help you use it. So I'm going to actually click yes. And once I click yes, we'll put in the month and the year. Once I click save, everyone that I'm attached to will say congratulations. And the benefit of saying yes, some of you are thinking, Carrie, I'm not ready for all of those emails. If you get updates via email, some of you might say, Carrie, I don't have time to answer. It's really okay if you don't answer, but if there are some people you really have a relationship with, you might want to say thank you so much. The benefit of sharing and saying yes is it actually helps your profile and it helps you get recognized. So saying yes occasionally when you have a new certification is great. So let's review. Once you get your email with your new link, you just click Add New Profile section. You would choose Accomplishments, and then you would add your certification here. So here's another tip. Many of us, when we received our designation, we did not take advantage of what's available on the council website. Under the Member Center and under Business Resources, you have the ability to send a press release. At the bottom of this page, press releases, we have a PMN designation. Press release. So what you would do is you could share this with your association. You could create your own press release by just literally posting it on Facebook. You could create a PDF and share that PDF. You can add this to a Word document, save it as a PDF, and share it on Facebook. Anyone that writes about this for you, once the press release is sent, so here's my press release, you can grab your press release, go back to LinkedIn, and you have the ability to add another section. So when you click Add New Profile section, under Accomplishments, you can add a publication. Click the plus sign, title your publication, so new PMN, and you might type this out, designee for the Women's Council of Realtors. Who's the publisher? And I would just say Caremark Realty Group. The name, the date of the publication. I did this for you today. Today's Wednesday. The year. And then you would put in your publication URL. You could also put in a description. You might choose to just go back to the Women's Council website, and if you click on the designation press release, automatically download it in the bottom left-hand corner because I'm in Google Chrome. And once I launch it, you might not be able to see it, so I won't show it. But once you launch it, give me a second, I'll make sure you can see it. So now you should be able to see the press release. And you could literally just say, you could copy the first paragraph, and then we would go back to our other screen. And now we go back to LinkedIn and we would just give some basic information. That easy. And now when I save it, I now have a new publication that where anyone that's following me would receive it in their news feed. It's that easy. So quickly to review, and then I'll answer any questions. When you receive your email for your badge, you're going to take your link and you're going to add it to your profile, view my profile, and you'll add under add new profile section, under accomplishments, you can add a publication and you can add your certification. Any questions? So while you're thinking about if you have any questions, let me suggest, some of you are thinking, Carrie, well, how else could I leverage this? Once you add a certification, you can simply go and look at your certification, and you could, once you open the certification, you can share it on Facebook, you could share it on Twitter, you can, whatever social media site you have, you could actually go live on Facebook, tell people about your designation, tell them they can view it here on LinkedIn. There's so many ways you can leverage your certifications. So when I click see certificate, take someone here, they can see my certification, all from my LinkedIn account. And for those of you that aren't taking advantage of the Women's Council group, occasionally people go live here in the Facebook group. So take advantage of this. Tell us, give us some of your tips. Go live. Tell us about what you're learning. Tell us about what's happening in your communities. Share your tips. This is a place where the PMN designees can collaborate. Well, if I don't have any other questions, we're pretty much done. Olivia, do you have anything you want to share?
No, I think that pretty much covers the basics of how to add certifications to your profile, how to also add any kind of publications. Now, you guys could also use this for other, this training for other education classes. Even if you decided to take a class somewhere, where would you put that, Carrie, if you had taken a course somewhere? Where do you think you would?
Oh, you just put under accomplishments, under courses. So, for example, every PMN course that you've taken, let's see, how many did I put in? There it is, Leadership Excellence. I probably have a few more I need to add. Yes, I think I need to add the negotiation class. So you can, every class you take, you should add it. And let me tell you, the consumer, today's consumer is much more savvy, and real estate agents forget that we need to tell people that we're just as savvy as the next generation. So add every PMN course you've taken right here.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. You could even do, like, what do you think about webinars, like certain, depending on the level of education that you gathered from a webinar. The way I look at it, it kind of seems like an opportunity to share the education that you've completed, or your volunteer involvement that people may not recognize that you're out doing. Is that how you look at LinkedIn?
See, I looked at, yes, and the other thing I looked at LinkedIn for is, so for example, if I took the Leadership Excellence course, you can now, you could write your own blog post, or in your, at the top of the screen when we get to the section where you say something about yourself, you could actually talk about how you've implemented things into your business. So what changed. And it might just be that you're not telling me what you learned, but what you learned gets transitioned into your resume. I've actually added, anytime I'm published, I've added those articles. Whenever I have, and SlideShare, by the way, has been added to, is now owned by LinkedIn. So if you were to create a PowerPoint presentation, let's say you've done volunteer work, whether it's for the council, whether it's for your association or the local community, you can take your PowerPoint presentations, upload them to SlideShare, and then make them a part of your articles and activity. And when you log into your account, make sure your account is updated. Many times we don't realize we're missing things. So your homework would be, as soon as you get your badge, add that. And then scroll through your profile and make sure your experience is here. Make sure if you're a local, if you're a network president, you want to tell people that you are. And believe it or not, people, they're interested. Well, sometimes they think, Carrie, you've got a new job? No, read. But people are actually watching you, and I get an email from LinkedIn every day that tells me you're being looked at, go check out LinkedIn. And then I can click that link to see who's looking at me as a real estate agent or as an instructor. And if you're not making updates, your LinkedIn profile is getting hidden. So you need to start actively using your LinkedIn account so people know that you exist.
That was a question I had for you. So do you recommend like that one person go in and make a whole big bunch of updates, or is it more of a better strategic move to make a couple of changes at one point and then come back later and make a couple more changes?
If your resume is not updated, I would say I would come to my LinkedIn account, and under settings and privacy, I would make sure I turn off notifications, and I would update the resume. Then what I would do, and if there are a few updates you don't want to add yet because you want to add something next month, just so you come up in the news feed so people know that you have updates, you could do that. Just know that if you haven't built out your resume, the moment you build it out, if you spend 2 hours on it, every time you make an update, your network will know. So I would say before you make those updates, go to me, and then under settings, turn off the notifications where your network is notified every time you make a change, and then you might want to turn it back on.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. That's awesome. Thanks, Carrie. And just really quick for you guys in attendance, Carrie mentions a badge that we will be issuing. You should receive an email from Women's Council. I would say look for that by next week. It'll have the information that you need to share your badge on Facebook, LinkedIn, and even in your email signature. So this, you may want to come back and revisit the recording of this to see how you can use that new marketing opportunity at your convenience. So with that, I guess that's it, Carrie.
Well, thank you so much. Everyone have a great week. Go sell a house. I'll see you in DC.
Thanks.